Hey everyone, it's Ashley, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have a giant stack of boxes that I need to move out of my office. Just got all my harvest warmers unpacked. I think I'm actually, before we get into the weekly home fragrance roundup here, I think I am going to do in one of my upcoming videos just like a quick share of all the warmers I have out. So I put out my harvest collection warmers, and I only really have like a few. It wouldn't be that many warmers. It's not like a whole home tour because I really am only using the downstairs warmer at the current time. So kind of just like my open concept where my more harvest type warmers are. I might just do like a quick walkthrough to show you guys. And I know some people were wondering what the difference between the two pumpkin warmers was. So I could just quickly show that in that video. If you guys are interested, I think I might do that. It's probably going to be really quick. I'll just like walk around my open concept and show you what I have. But I feel like it helps. I like seeing people's videos of like how they have their warmer set up in their home. So if you're interested, please let me know because I'm considering filming that for maybe like later in the week. But for now, we have the weekly home fragrance roundup. If you guys are new, this is where I gather all the things that I have been warming, using, smelling throughout my home, and I talk about them with you guys. If you saw the thumbnail, the basket was very full. I feel like I did a really good job this week. These aren't all empty, which you will see, but I feel like I did a really good job this week, like trying to work through things. Even though I didn't feel super accomplished, like I don't have a ton of empties, I feel like I made progress, which is good. If you're not new here, we have these bugs that freaking fly around. And also, I tend to rant in these videos about how I feel overwhelmed about my stash, but I feel like I'm making some progress. So I'm going to start with Scentsy, as I always do. I'm going to attempt to leave a timestamp when I switch over to the more candles and better wax, if I remember to do so. So to start with non-wax Scentsy items, I emptied another bag of cotton cleanups into my master bin of cotton cleanups. So I basically have just this big this big clear bin that I honestly got because I thought it was going to be kind of like a candle hurricane-esque situation. I since have better candle hurricane, so now I just use it for my cotton cleanups to sit by my warmers, and it works perfect. It holds a whole entire bag plus a few extra, which is amazing. So I just dump a whole bag in at a time, and I'm really working on trying to use the cotton cleanups I have. I don't need to hoard them. Okay, I switched up my car bar situation. I have finally realized that I go between this phase of like, what kind of scent delivery system do I want in my car? So I'll use car bars, I'll use my mini fan diffuser. Sometimes I use scent circles. Do I use anything else? Not necessarily, but I was on a really big like mini fan diffuser kick, and I'm kind of off that at the current time in my car. I'm like, I want to get some car bars. So I ordered some fall car bars. That haul will be coming. But in the meantime, I decided to stick in pumpkin roll. So I did that, and then I took out pink sugarberry mint. And then I put that on my keychain because you guys know me and gotta carry scent with me. And then as you can tell, this one was on my keychain. It's really rough looking. Hopefully you can see like how beat up it is. I had it on there for a while. This is strawberry and rockmelon. It like barely smells. Once you like carry them around for a while, like with your keys, and they like get beat up and stuff, they definitely start to smell like the plastic they're made out of. That's when you know they're like truly dead and out of scent, but they stop fragrancing your car after like, you know, so long. So I like to repurpose them that way. So I put in pumpkin roll. It's definitely not the strongest, but I also bought it, I think, from the clearance section a while ago. I think I bought it in April. I went through and dated all my Scentsy things so I can like know when I brought things into my collection so I can use things appropriately. That was kind of stressing me out, so I just did that one weekend, and now I feel a lot better about that. But I don't think that's in the catalog for some reason. I don't know the catalog naturally. I don't think that's in the catalog, and I don't know why, but maybe it is. But I'm pretty sure I got that in a clearance update. Don't know if that's why it's not like the strongest performer. but it's not the strongest performer. If it is available, I'm just letting you know. Okay, let's talk about oils. I worked on the Father's Day collection this week. So these are not empty. I just worked on them. And hopefully I can remember which I thought I have thoughts on one of them specifically, but I don't know which one it is for sure. Okay, it's not this one. The Forever Friend, and I think this Hero to Me. I feel like these are the two that I'm like, yeah, these are good. They're nice for the bathroom where I use them. Just like generic, kind of like manly-esque smells. We have Motivator and Mentor though. This is so blurry, I feel like. I don't have the notes on these. This one is like something in it. It's almost like eucalyptus when I smell it here, but it's not eucalyptus when I smell it like diffusing. It's so strong. And also it's so thin, it just pours out into the warmer. Like some oils, especially from Scentsy, like the really bakery ones, you like have to hold that bottle there and like hope to goodness a drop comes out. They're just so thick. This one, I'm like, oh, I'm barely gonna tip it over. I only want like 3 or 4 drops because I know it's gonna be so strong. And like 10 pour out by the time I've realized like, oh my gosh, it's going so fast. So that's not aiding to the fact that it's strong already. I'm debating whether I just inquire if anyone loves this scent and would love me to surprise them with a fun gift, or if I just like buckle down and try and use it. But it's so intrusive in my nose, and I worry that like if I'm bothered by it, is Jemmy bothered by it? I typically only have been diffusing oils in the bathroom. I kind of want to do a little bit in the kitchen with my fun seasonal oils, but I just haven't gotten there quite yet. That's more of like a personal, I just haven't felt like I had the time. Not that I don't, but like I just have felt extremely busy. So I haven't quite got that far, but otherwise right now I'm only diffusing in the bathroom to try and keep it out of like the frequent Jemmy areas. But that one's almost a little bit too intense for the bathroom. And if we close the door to the bathroom, it's like suffocating when you go into the bathroom because it's just like all contained in that one space versus some of those other ones, like they're great. They're perfect for the space. So if you guys like Motivator and Mentor, let me know. Maybe I'll drop you a fun package. But for the current time, I'm just kind of working through it until I like figure out, do I really love it or do I hate it? The second time I used it this past week was a lot better than the first time, I'll say that. Then we have some pod packs. So I finished up pods in Mahalo Coconut and Peachy and Palm Trees. Peachy and Palm Trees, I don't know if I said this before, but it reminds me of the summer version of Sweet Plum Pastry. I don't know why, but something in it is definitely something that I also pull out of Sweet Plum Pastry personally. Not necessarily like for sure in the notes it's the same, but I get a like something about it is a distinct similarity to Sweet Plum Pastry. It's crazy. So in the pods, it definitely doesn't smell like that anymore. When they were first going, I was like, this really reminds me of Sweet Plum Pastry. I don't know why. I don't know if there's like a dark plummy-ish type fruit in here along with the peach. I don't know. But I have this scent in my club, not in pods, but just in wax. So I'm getting more of it. That's for sure. Okay, gotta make sure I put like all my empties in one area. And then I finished up my Mahalo Coconut. These did not ever smell. I can smell them, not in the diffuser, like right here in my hands, I can smell them. Air purifier, wall fan, mini fan in my car, at work, they did not smell. Here in my office, which is kind of hard to scent anyway, but regardless, what's the deal here? I legit felt like these just were complete duds. And also, I'm pretty sure Robin said the same thing. I'm like 99% sure Robin said the same thing, because when I was watching Robin's video and they were like, oh, the pods don't smell, like Mahalo Coconut doesn't smell. I was like, you're so right. Like, I feel like mine also don't smell. So, not available currently, but I feel like those were total duds. I don't know why. feel like I've had those in the past and they haven't been so dud-like. I feel like they weren't as bad. Okay, and then I also put in whipped vanilla lavender in the pods in the bedroom. I started them. I feel like these also aren't very strong, but I have them in the air purifier. I warmed this in the wax, so we'll talk about the scent more a little bit later, but I feel like these aren't doing a whole lot. I think my new kind of rotation is I'm going to like start the pods maybe in my bedroom air purifier and then maybe like take them to work so they're a little bit like chilled out before I take them to work, especially if I want to start doing like some fall type scents. And then I might finish them in like, you know, a smaller space like the bathroom or the office up here to kind of like ride out the rest of their life and die. So these ones, I don't know if I'll do that because lavender, kind of really want to get to fall, but I don't know. I feel like they're just not doing much. So okay, let's talk the wax I've been warming this week, and let's start off with the sample cup I got in the Whiff box of the next month's scent of the month. Spoiler, I'm so sorry if you are not trying to watch Whiff box videos. I feel bad now that I've said that because I was trying to avoid spoilers and I just totally ruined it. I'm so sorry. But we're getting a sample of next month's scent of the month, Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. I have wax spillage on here from the Whiff box, but I warmed my sample cup. I ordered my scent of the month kit as well. To me, this is like, I did it here in my office. I feel like I did it in this warmer right here. I don't know if it's the placement of this warmer with all the other things on this shelf and where the vents are located in this room, or if it's just this room. But I have been getting terrible throw in this room. Like, I just feel like I can't smell hardly anything that I'm warming. Don't know what the deal is. So I feel like it was light, but I don't want to discredit it because I warmed it in here. But what I did get from it, it was very much just kind of like a pumpkin spiced cake almost in a way. It wasn't super mapley because I'm pretty sure it has maple in it. It wasn't like super mapley. It was just kind of more like a spiced pumpkin cake, not overly strong. It was kind of borderline, like might be cloying to some people. But I think, I don't know, like when I was warming it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love bakery, obviously. So I was like, do I totally love it? Like, is this a club? Like, you know, Scentsy people, that's just how we think. Like, we haven't even got the scent yet, but you're like, do I club it? But I think, obviously I'll warm a full bar, but I think at the end of the day, once I was done warming it, I was like, coming to the conclusion that I probably don't need to club it because I like other things better, but it's nice and I'll be getting like 8 bars in my kit as a consultant. And then I was like, maybe if I wasn't a consultant, I would either get more or put it in my club because I wasn't getting so many bars at the start. But I think I need to be more conscious of like, okay, I'm already getting 8 bars as a consultant. Yes, I'm using them and sampling them and doing those things. But I have 5 bars left of a scent. I don't necessarily need to also get it quarterly. I'm going through a really tough time with my clubs, you guys, right now. So you can probably tell. Okay, let's talk about the Harvest collection. I'm ready. I got my brochure. I'm ready to talk about them. So I warmed them in the order I feel like I was like least hopeful to most hopeful, which is the way I hold them, which is the like backwards from how the catalog is. So I felt like Wild for Fall I was going to be the least excited about because it's kind of like a Christmas scent. Maple Rum Cake I was like a little bit unsure on, and then I felt like because the other two were essentially no's from my, like, not my cold sniffs, but just like my impressions of the notes, I warmed Cozy Vanilla Pumpkin last because I figured it'd be my favorite. I have quite the stories. Like, my first impressions and my cold sniffs and my warm reviews do not align, so let's get into it. Wild for Fall, which is personally renamed by myself to Wild for Winter. This is Douglas Fir, Satsuma Mandarin, and Golden Sunflower. If you told me these notes while it was warming, I probably would have been like, okay, because it's really, to me, like, I heard other people, I've been watching hauls, listening to hauls, and I hear them reading these notes and I'm like, Satsuma, Mandarin, and Golden Sunflower. Like when I was warming it, I was just thinking like really, really, really pretty Christmas tree. Like kind of almost borderline like sweet Christmas tree, like not quite vanilla Christmas tree, which would be amazing. But close. I freaking loved it. It was so good. It was like kind of a medium throughout my open concept, which is great because Christmas tree scents can sometimes be like 11 out of 10s. You know, I'm not trying to taste it. It was very, very nice. I was super impressed with it. It was the first one I warmed. I actually really liked this one. It was September, granted, but I did really like it. So I do think come like November, December, January, this one's going to be a total hit. I'm impressed. I don't know why it's in this collection and not the holiday collection. Maybe it was a production issue, maybe something that was supposed to be, you know, maybe they switched a bar because of some kind of something. I don't know those types of things, but I'm shocked that it's here because typically, like, it has trees on it. Like, I wouldn't be like, if someone was like, oh, we really were going to call this Wild for Winter and release it in the holiday collection, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I would be like, yeah, that makes total sense. To me, it feels like a sub for something that was delayed in, like, production. But I'm not mad. I like it regardless. It just seems like a weird part of this collection. Like, if we would have done an apple here and made it just, like, totally fruity apple, I feel like that would have maybe went over a little bit better. But also, I don't work in the scent department because I'm not a scent expert on like mixing and things like that. Okay, maple rum cake. I was like really nervous about the maple, you guys, as I feel like most of us probably were. Buttered rum, cinnamon sugar, vanilla frosting, maple drizzle. I was real nervous about this one. Even on cold, it doesn't smell so much like this now because it's empty. But even on cold, I was like, I mean, maple and not necessarily butterscotch. I feel like I do like butterscotch for the most part in Scentsy bars, but caramel, maple, buttered rum, like butter in general. Sometimes those notes in Scentsy bars, in wax in general, can just be a little shaky. This was amazing. I think this was my favorite from the collection. You guys, I'm saying I freaking loved it. It was like kind of like a cinnamon caramel cake. It was so good. It made my house smell amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, for sure, I'm maybe gonna like this, like whatever. I made samples of all of these to get into my customers' hands if they haven't like tried the Harvest collection yet. But honestly, I ended up liking this one the best. It was so good. I feel like the maple was not as intense as I was expecting, which is fabulous, right? So that one actually ended up being really good and a total hit. Like I said, favorite from the collection. I'm so glad I got the pods. I'm low-key like, do I get the travel twist now? Like, what do I do here? Do I get the fragrance flower? I really liked that one. So I feel like kind of weird recommending it because I feel like this is the one people will be the most adverse to because it has maple in it. But if you like bakery, I think you should give this a shot. If you're one of my customers, I am going to be sending out some happy mail. Like send me a message if you're like, I really want to try the maple rum cake. Just let me know because I feel like people will maybe avoid that one because it's called maple rum cake. But to me, it was like a cinnamon caramel cake. It was like really good. I really enjoyed it. And so I feel like initially Cozy Vanilla and Pumpkin I thought was going to be my favorite. Once I got it in my home and I smelled it on cold sniff, I said it kind of had like a weird perfumey-esque vibe. And then I was like contemplating with myself, listening to other people's videos, like, did I feel that way because it's not like pumpkin spice and I'm so accustomed to like, oh, pumpkin goes with spice. And if it's not pumpkin spice, it's pumpkin marshmallow, like it's pumpkin puree and gross. So this one I was like, it just seems perfumey or something. The notes are harvest pumpkin, cozy vanilla, and sparkling cinnamon. I almost get like an amber or like not quite a floral, but something off. And Patricia Gates actually messaged me and was like, I totally get what you're saying. I feel the same way. Like, it's not fresh, eatable, like edible, like pumpkin. She was like, I totally agree. Like, it's almost like a lotion. So I felt so much better after she said that, because I was like, I was really second guessing myself. Like, am I making up that this smells perfumey to me because there's no pumpkin spice? But honestly, you guys, I thought this one was gonna be my favorite, and it's honestly my least favorite. I really am not a fan. At first I was like, okay, it's like just like a non-spicy pumpkin. Then as it was warming, I was like, I don't want a non-spicy pumpkin. Like, I don't want this scent. It smells so weird to me because it almost smells like it kind of smells like, you know, when you get a holiday or harvest themed body care item and it's like, you know, it kind of is lotion, but it kind of smells like pumpkin spice or like whatever theme they're trying to go for. I was kind of getting those vibes, and I'm like, I don't want my house to smell like this. Like, maybe a hand soap, but not my house. So I think initially I was like, it's okay. And then I was like, I'm trying to be more serious about my club and like, what do I actually like and what do I actually want warming in my house? And I was like, I actually don't like this. I'm actually not a fan. So I was just being more brutal with myself. And honestly, I want pumpkin spice. I think that's the long short of it. Yeah. So that one was a pass. So ranking them, Maple Rum Cake was number 1, Wild for Fall, aka Wild for Winter, was number 2, and Cozy Vanilla Pumpkin is a no. It got last. So there you have it. Okay, and then I did work on a brick. So look at that progress. I love it. So I worked on my Ghostly Greetings. I am officially halfway through it. I typically had been working on my bricks. I had an unofficial brick Monday assigned to myself where I would take the opportunity on Mondays to work on my brick. My situations have changed a little bit. So I have recently kind of gotten the agreement from my superiors, from my bosses, that I can work from home a day from work. So I have reconfigured my wax melting, and instead of doing brick Mondays, I'm just going to take the day that I work from home and work on my bricks. And I'm going to do that because it'll just give me, like, I'm not home a lot unless it's the weekends because I work full time mostly in the office. So before, you know, I'd come home, especially if we go to the gym or something. What if some nights I'm like, I don't even turn my warmers on because it's just too late in the day, or I'm like, I'm busy, I need to get things done. I'm not just sitting around like, oh, gotta go around turning my warmers. Like, if there's things I need to do, I have to do them. So I have reconfigured my brick schedule, and I'm just gonna work on my brick of the week, the day that week that I work from home. I hope that made sense. So hopefully there will be one a week. My work from home schedule is not necessarily a guarantee. I am an admin assistant, so it kind of depends what's going on in the office. Obviously, if there's large meetings or something important that I need to be there for, I'm not going to go home. So it's a little bit flexible. So it's not necessarily a guarantee, but I think with how I want to kind of go about warming my wax to kind of work through my collection a little bit, I think this is going to hopefully be a better strategy for me and not necessarily make me feel like I'm wasting my bricks by like putting them in at 6 and taking them out at 10. Like, I don't want to do that. But also making sure I do work on them. I think it's best of both worlds. So worked on Ghostly Greetings. I absolutely love this. It was available in a recent flash sale, and I'm so happy to hear everyone enjoying it. This gives me hope that now that so many people are retrying it and like actually enjoying it, maybe we'll see in the future. If we do, club it goes. If we don't, I'm really stocked up. But I did work through half of my brick. Well, I worked through 2.5 cubes, but to get to half of my brick left, I think honestly this is the one I might work on for, well, I really need to work on some of my other ones, but I kind of want to focus on this one just because it's so timely to use it, I guess that you could say. So work done, ghostly greetings. Are you guys working on your bricks? Let me know down below. I know a lot of you would kind of not join in with Brick Monday, but you kind of had a designated like theme to work with your bricks. Okay, bedroom Scentsy. I told you I kind of worked through a lot this week and I'm feeling a little chatty obviously here. So okay, I think I started the week with sheer leather, I think. So I finished up sheer leather. Some of these I had initially started, like some I'm working and doing like 4 cubes at a time, so it's taking me 2 cycles to get through them, I guess. But sheer leather is really, really nice. This is the last bar I had. Didn't club it, didn't do any of that, but it is really nice. I did like it. No longer available. It's just like a nice manly type scent. Honestly though, I have Graduation, which isn't necessarily a dupe for it, but it's another like leathery type scent. And so I think I'm okay. Like when I was warming it, I was like, you know, I have Graduation and I'm okay with that. So next I finished up Whipped Vanilla Lavender, which I do think I warmed the week prior and just didn't finish. Like I only had done 4 cubes of it. So here's the situation, what happened with Whipped Vanilla Lavender. We warmed this on, it was over the weekend, and I woke up because I heard Jem kind of like rustling of some sort. And I was like, you know, generally it was like kind of early in the morning, maybe like a 5:30. And generally she starts to like do that when she wants attention, or like, you know, she's like, I'm up. Why isn't everyone else up? So I was like, okay, Jem, stop. Like I couldn't really figure out what was going on. I could tell she was like biting stuff. So I, you know, did my whole like, okay, get out of here, whatever, Jem. We're trying to go to bed. It's 5:30 a.m. And she just continued at it. And I was like, Corey, she's biting cords. I could hear her, she was biting cords. Sometimes she likes to do that. She's been really good about it lately until this incident. And he was like, oh, like it's fine, whatever. So like, you know, shoot her away again, kind of let her do her thing, whatever. And then it was maybe like 5 minutes or not even so later, she had, all of a sudden there was like this big, not crash, but like something had happened, obviously. It was in the bedroom, like we were asleep. Not really, because like she had been annoying us, but it was like this big crash. And so I was like, oh God, like I instantly knew. She had essentially like pulled on the cord of the wax warmer to the extent where it had pulled the wax warmer down off of the dresser. And need I say more? Like I had 4 cubes of wax, you guys. I had 4 cubes of liquefied wax going all over the wall, whatever. So accident, we did the thing, we cleaned it up. She obviously was in trouble, like, you know, she went into the bathroom while we cleaned it all up and things like that. But and she was like so scared because she, like, the warmer fell. I mean, obviously she wasn't trying to pull the warmer down. Like, it was a total disaster. I'm just so glad she didn't get like hit by the warmer or anything, because that would have been devastating. The warmer fell into our laundry basket, even better, right? So all over the wall, into the laundry basket, did the whole 9 yards. Like, it was a take a stand warmer though, so nothing broke. Probably the best warmer to knock over, honestly, because it's just one big piece. But it was a nightmare. And we were warming whipped vanilla lavender. I'm so glad we weren't warming like a red. Like if we were warming this, the wall would have probably been stained. This is like a super light like lavender color, so thank goodness. Thank goodness. But essentially through all of that, no more bedtime warms of the wax. So, which I totally get it. Like I totally get it. I was probably pushing the envelope a little bit by doing it anyway, but I just liked having the fragrance in the room. Like if I would get up in the middle of the night, or kind of like, you know, whipped vanilla lavender. I keep struggling with that one. Like it would help me sleep or things like that. So I did enjoy it. It's just a no-no now because of the situation. So I've been like taking the cord up at night and like putting it on top of the dresser. I did leave it down one night and she was biting it again. Even though the warmer was off, she was still like biting the actual cord that was plugged into the wall. So I don't know if she is going, she's over her 1 year. So she's about to go to her 1 year checkup. So she's maybe like close to a year and a half. So she's still pretty much like a kitten-ish. So I don't know if it's just like a teeth thing or an attention thing or what, but yeah, it was quite the situation. So now, honestly, like when I smell this scent, not that it is giving me like a bad scent memory, but like it's not making me feel great. Like I like the smell of it, but also like I was the next day later on after we cleaned up, like trying to get out of the clothes that spilled on and like all of the things, and just instantly the scent would come back. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of put me off the scent just a little. And like at first I was like, okay, is it because it's the lavender? Like, does she not like that? Is she like aggravated by the scent? I don't know. I was just like going through all the considerations, like what happened here. So I'm a little leery about that one. I'm like, do I take it out of my club? Like, I just am a little bit put off the scent, if you guys know what I mean. So, needless to say, no more warming in the bedroom at night. So I'm only running the air purifier, and that's why I feel like I might start with my pods there, because at least they'll be a little stronger. At least there'll be some scent in the room. I feel like when we go like no scent in the room, it smells disgusting. Like, I don't know what the deal is, if it's just like we sleep and then there's nothing going on in there. Like, it just smells like stale or something. I don't like it. I've done it before and I'm just like, I hate the way this room smells. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's because I have fragrance in all my other rooms, but I am at least gonna do the air purifier for now. And we're just gonna hope for the best. So no more night warming. And even Corey was like, we were talking about fresh ice and he's like, yeah, it's such a like good warm overnight. And he's like, well, we can't do that anymore. So I was like, okay, at least it wasn't just me who was like bummed about it. Because at first I was like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me. Like, not that he doesn't know I've been warming wax overnight, because like obviously you can see the warmer. It's an element warmer, but like it's right here. It's on. But I was like, maybe he doesn't know. He knows it's over. We're not doing that anymore. So what I've been doing now is just like warming in the bedroom from like somewhat after work, before or after dinner time, to like bedtime. So just like a little bit of a short stint, but at least when you go in there, it's like in the air. And as I go to bed, it's like fading throughout the room, if you will. So I've still been enjoying scents in the bedroom. So two scents I've really been loving in the bedroom are new. Velvet Moon. Amazing, you guys. This scent is so good. It's in the floral category, but to me, velvet is the perfect word for it. It's like soft and musky and beautiful and calming, and it's so good and so unique. So I'm excited to warm these other 4 cubes also in the bedroom, because like I said, it's just so unique, you guys. And then we also worked on Frosted Vanilla. And I thought I liked Velvet Moon, but Frosted Vanilla is so good. It's straight up vanilla. I don't want to say it's the best vanilla because that's a really bold statement. But while it was going, like I warmed it at the same time I was warming Ghostly Greetings. And it was in the bedroom, which our bedroom is off the living room. Like it's all on the first floor. But I was in the kitchen, like at the sink washing my hands, and I got this whiff of vanilla. And I was like, do I have like a Vanilla Bean Noel candle going or something? And I was like, the bedroom door was cracked open and it was this wafting out over the ghostly greetings and hit me at the doorway. It's strong, long lasting, beautiful scent if you like vanilla. There's like some funny note like birch or something in here. I just get a beautiful vanilla scent. It's not foodie vanilla. It's just beautiful vanilla. It's not like even perfumey. It's just like the sweetest, almost confectionery-esque vanilla. Like it's not bakery, but it's almost like a sweet, 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 sweet icing. Like I just don't know how to describe it. It makes me think though, like frosted, like almost cooling, but like with its sweetness. It's such a unique scent, but it's, like I said, I almost want to say the best vanilla ever. But I love my vanillas and I don't want to put the rest of them down. But it's really good. If you haven't tried it, it's really good. Okay, I'm officially moving on to my non-Scentsy wax. Hopefully I can talk about these quicker. Okay, let's get into it. So I finished up 2 Wallflowers. I don't know if this was just a timing thing. Typically I finish up about 1 of these a week. So this may have been just like an off timing situation here. I don't know the sense of these. I'm trying to get better about keeping the caps like I used to for these videos, but I'm just off on like what I have the caps for. So this one, as you can see, is really tough here. Like, look at how sideways and damaged. Like, look at all that damage. I think it was a summery one. I don't know. I wanted to say strawberry daiquiri, but I just don't know if that's positive. I feel like neither of these was like overly intense. I think this was maybe Tiki Beach. Like, it barely smelled, but also I've used up like all the way to the end. Even this one that goes up pretty high, my scent control plug did pretty good at almost getting every single drop. There's no way this can reach those last little bits. Like, it just doesn't reach because the wicks don't go all the way down anymore. But even this one, like, she sucked up every last little bit. So I'm ending all my Wallflowers currently, unless they happen to end somewhere else, but I'm ending them all in my scent control plug just because I feel like that's been doing a really good job at getting every last drop out of my Wallflowers. And typically, like I said, I've been going through one, like emptying one about a week, but I have like 7 actively going. Don't think I'm using up this whole container in a week. I have these, this is like every week it going down. So I mean, if I have 7 going, that means it would take roughly 7 weeks, but I do have a couple duo plugs. So that means they only go every other day, every 2 days for 2 days. It goes every 48 hours, it switches. That's the timing. I hope that made sense. But if you guys need me to like I like feel like I'm such a rando the way I like rotate my things, but to me, it just, I want the most used things to like finished first. And that's why I do it. If you ever want me to get into like super detailed about it, I would love to, because I feel like it's the best way to do it. But I feel like such a rando and like, who thinks about this stuff? Who rotates their soaps? But like, I have ever since we moved into this house, and even before we moved into this house, like, I just what I do. Okay. I worked through some Vendor wax. If you guys know my Vendor wax struggle, I'm trying here. So I finished up pumpkin pecan waffles and graham crackers. I kind of pushed this one a little bit. Like, I maybe added a couple extra little squares where I maybe didn't need to because I was so close to being done. But I'm done with it and I'm so excited. I worked on peppermint coconut mallow. I love this one, but I've been warming my wax. I was previously warming it in the bedroom, my Vendor wax. Then when we had that little incident with the wax, I had to pivot because I was like, well, I can't warm my Vendor wax in here and my Scentsy wax. Like, there's just not enough time in the day to do both. So I had to pivot and re-choose how I wanted to warm through my Vendor wax. And so essentially now I have moved from the bedroom back to mornings. So essentially, as I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm working on my Vendor wax. I initially had been using just like a warmer with like a silicone liner, and that's how I tested out this one. This just isn't like a morning warm, so I'm conflicted about it, but I have since brought out my tea light and I have been loving my Vendor wax again. Like, it's just making it so strong. It melts so fast, especially if I'm getting ready in the morning. I can go through it so quickly, which is great because that's what I need. I need to get through these things, and I want like instant fragrance right now. I want to smell the scent. Do I like it? Do I not? Because I'm not here forever in the mornings, right? So I don't want to wait for it to pull out in a warmer, all those things. So my tea light has made it so much better. So I'm like, do I hang on to this one and maybe like use my tea light in my bedroom when I want to work on this one? However, it is from June of 21. So I'm like, kind of want to get done with it relatively soon. We'll see. We'll see what I do with that one, but I'm not quite ready to like declutter it per se. If you do want to check out my wax stash page, I will leave it linked down below. Some of these things, as I go through them, if I'm like, I'm not a fan, I am decluttering. So the first one I did in my tea light warmer officially was Cookie Land, and I am pretty sure I have this posted on my D-Stash page. This was amazing. It was so freaking good, you guys. I really love this scent, and I was a little bit nervous because I actually decluttered my carbs in Cookie Land, but I think the carbs part of that was a little bit funky. This one was amazing. So I have a lot to go, and I actually, like I said, I think I have one of these on my D-Stash page because I had 2 full ones of these, which are like double bags. Like, I had multiple bags that I put into one, and I was like, I don't need all that. So I decluttered one and I kept one. Really liked it. I also did waffle cone. This is another double bag, and I'm pretty sure I also decluttered another double bag. This one I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it on its own, like just waffle cone. Did it in my tea light. I absolutely loved it. So this one is also staying. And then I did this morning work on some pumpkin pecan waffle carbs, and I actually really did like this one too. So here is the status of this one. This is just a single bag, so there's a lot less in here. So these might take me a while to get through, just because like some of these have lots of squares, and like I said, I'm only working on them in a tea light now versus like 2 warmers downstairs in my bedroom, but I'm enjoying them a lot more, so I think that is what matters. Obviously, as I maybe like tire of things, or as I find more things that I'm like, no, I don't like this, I will continue to declutter those things. So it's probably just going to be a rotating door of me posting things to my D-Stash page, because there's just some things that I'm not in love with, and my nose changes. Like, there's things that I thought I loved, like Carbs and Cookie Land, that I'm like, I don't like this anymore. Like, it doesn't smell like I thought it once smelled that I loved. So then I'm just de-stashing it. Thank you to everyone who has bought through my de-stash page. I really appreciate it, because like, you don't have to, but if I can give somebody the opportunity to try these scents at a discount that they have been wanting to try, and then it also helps me light my stash, I feel like it's a win-win for both of us. But thank you so much for those of you who have supported my D-Stash page. I really appreciate it. Okay, lastly, candles I worked on. This video is getting really long, so I'm just going to breeze through these really quickly. I worked on, once again, my weekend candles, which are Pumpkin Donut Shop and White Caramel Cold Brew. The Pumpkin Donut Shop is just hanging on here like it normally is. It's doing better with its pooling out, but it's definitely not like going too speedy, just because those wicks are so tiny and not producing strong flames. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the White Caramel Cold Brew is trying to get a little bit of sitting going on, and it is throwing like crazy. So this one, I feel like I'm definitely under halfway, but I feel like I'm making pretty good progress on it. Unless it starts to get really crazy sooty, I really want to finish it up. So these are just my weekend burns, because it's a coffee, and then I wanted to join in the Pumpkin Donut Shop with my coffee. So I'll keep working on them. The White Caramel Cold Brew is kind of on probation with its wick situation. I also worked on Pumpkin Apple Fritter. The wicks are like, I tried to push them more towards the center, but this top wick was like getting really close to the edge one day, and I was like really leery to light it and leave it. I was like, I just kind of want to stare at it and make sure nothing happens. So after I blew it out, I kind of tilted some of the wicks. I don't know, like, can you see this one? I was just like, could you not be so close to the edge? I don't know when that happened. Like, I don't remember them being that close when I opened it, but I love the scent of this candle. I feel like this has just improved with age, throw, and strength. It's amazing. It reminds me of Scentsy Cider Mill. It's the perfect combination of bakery, pumpkin, and apple. I absolutely love it. And that one's burning a lot better than my prior one did. I worked on Fall Festival, and so this one's actually burning really, really nicely. It does have those thicker wicks, but they do burn hotter, so it does help if you're trying to work on candles, I guess. So as you can see, I'm like kind of right there. This one, it's fresh pumpkin, spice, cinnamon, sweet maple, almond butter. To me, it's like a cross between a really, really nice fall scent and almost too cloyingly sweet. Like, I get different whiffs from it at different times. So I'm going to continue to work on it, but those wicks kind of look funny right there, but I feel like this one almost would be better paired with like a really spicy apple or really spicy pumpkin just to balance them out. Don't know what's happening there. Also continue to work on Welcome Home. So I feel like all these wicks look kind of funny, but I think it's how I'm holding them towards the camera. So I don't know if you can tell, this one also is having some pulling out issues, but that happens from time to time. This one's got really baby wicks, but I've actually made some progress on it in my candle project pan. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, I'm just continuing to work on these. I feel like I'm doing good. Like, for some people, they're probably like, you hardly burn these at all, but I feel like I'm doing really good with these. So I've essentially just been burning them downstairs on the stove. Like, every morning I pick one as I get ready. So warm apple pie, I worked on this one morning as well. This one I think is the worst with its pooling. What is happening there? Also, the wicks are so tiny. Like, I don't want that all to melt because it'll totally drown out these wicks. Can you even see them? Because this smudge, oh my gosh. The most bummer, the worst part about this, like, all this side is clear, this whole side. Here's where the label is with the like luminary. Like, that's the one spot that's like barely clear. Like, I just want to see the luminary. It's like barely peeking through. So this one's definitely going to be crocked like in the end regardless, if it even makes it to, I don't even know if it'll make it halfway. Like, she's really struggling and just not a lot of throw. I know other people complained about that when I was like, I love it. And I was like, it's doing the same thing that other people said. And then last candle I have to talk about before I wrap up this video. If you've been following me for a while, you might not believe it, but I actually lit up my Vanilla Bean Noel candle, and I feel like I actually made a decent amount of progress already. I only lit it up twice, and I feel like I already burned it down quite a ways. So this actually has some really nice wicks on it. They are the thinner wicks. They are like slightly mushrooming, but also they burn like fairly hot. And so I feel like that really helps it like pool out evenly, get a really good scent throw, get a decent wax pool. So yeah, I'm hoping this doesn't like soot and get this candle jar dirty, because I really want to keep this, like, I literally bought this for the packaging. Like, it has the prettiest packaging, and that is why I bought it. I just need to use it to get to the packaging. So I hope this doesn't sit too bad, but worst case, I'll just clean it up. But yeah, I officially have started this because I'm like, I can't move on to my other bakery candles until I get through this one. So let's get going on it. It's my oldest candle in my collection. So Jemmy is getting tired. She is stretching from her nap, needing to reposition. So I have been at it way too long, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are working on. I hope you enjoyed these weekly fragrance roundup videos. I have started just recombining them and doing them weekly on Saturdays, and it just makes me feel so nostalgic for like when I started watching like home fragrance YouTube. I feel like I watched a ton of these videos that people would do, especially like Mr. Kong's mom. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, coming back to watch these, joining in, commenting, all the things. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for sticking around and being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.